Hello, today we're going to learn how to solve system of linear equations. Okay, don't forget you have the mind of Christ and you can do everything through the power of Christ. And have faith that everything will be okay. Okay, when we are solving system of linear equations, we can have three different possible answers. We can have one solution. That is when the 2 points intersect one with the other one, and we can see this point that will be our solution. We can also have no solution, just as in here, that they're parallel lines, so they don't intersect one with the other one. And we can have many solutions when we have two lines that they cross just the same way, the same points they have. So we can just see one because they are in the same place. Okay, on this video, we will learn how to solve when we have many solutions. So let's start. Our example is y equals 2x plus 3 and 2y equals 4x plus 6. We need to define two different equations and we can label it by numbers. We can label this one as the first one and this one as the second one. In this case, we will solve it using intercepts. And we solve it using intercepts. You need to find which one is your x-intercept and your y-intercept, and also which one is your x-intercept and y-intercept for the other equation. This way you can see that you need to find the x and y-intercept for each of the equations you have in here. So when we start on here, and I want to find my x-intercept, I need to place my value for y as a 0, because remember that always when you work with the x-intercept, your y equals 0. So I place my y as a 0 and I have 2x plus 3. Now, I need to move my x to the other side. I move my x to the other side, and if on here was adding, on the other side goes subtracting. So I have negative 2x equals 3. Now that I have negative 2x equals 3, I need to move this negative 2 that is multiplying my x to the other side dividing. This way I have x equals negative 3 over 2. But this is an improper fraction, so I need to make it a mixed number. This way my answer will be x equals negative 1/1/2. Now that I have it like this, I'm going to make my other pair. My other pair will be negative 1/1/2 with the y as a 0. So I have negative 1/1/2 comma 0. Now, when I find my y-intercept, again I place my same equation, y equals 2x plus 3, and I define that my x is 0. This way I have y equals 2 times 0 plus 3. And how much is 2 times 0? Well, it's 0. I have y equals 0 plus 3. 0 plus 3 is just 3. This way, my y-intercept is 3, and my other pair will be 0, 3. Now, I need to find my x-intercept for my second equation. So y equals 4x plus 6. I define my x as the value I need to find, and my y is the value I will place as 0. 2 times 0 equals 4x plus 6. I move my 4x that is adding in here to the other side subtracting. Why? Because in here my 2 times 0 is 0, and I move my 4x that was adding to the other side subtracting, and I have negative 4x equals 6. My negative 4 is multiplying my x, so I need to move it to the other side dividing. This way I have x equals negative 6 over 4, but I know that this is an improper fraction, so I need to make it a mixed number. I make my mixed number and I have x equals negative 1/2/4. But I have a common factor between 2 and 4, so I simplify this and my answer will be x equals negative 1/1/2. Now, I need to find which one is my y-intercept. but my order pair for my x-intercept is -1, 1/2, comma 0. Which one is my y-intercept? My y-intercept in here is the y equals 4x plus 6. But I defined that my x equals 0. This way I have 2y equals 4 times 0 equals like this. Okay. I have 2y equals 6. As you can see on here, I need to move my 2 to the other side because my 2 is multiplying my y, so I need to leave my y completely alone, and I move it. Now I have y equals 6 over 2. And I can simplify this, and I place 6 over 2 is just the same as having 3. My order pair will be 0, 3. Now that I find this, I'm going to place my values I find, and I need to graph it. So I find which is my value for the intercepts of my first equation and the value of my intercept of the second equation. This way, I make my graph and I start plotting my points. -1, 1/2 will be over here, -1, 1/2, comma 0, and 0, 3 will be over here. Now I place my points, I connect them, and this will be my line for my first equation. Now I need to do it for my second equation. As you can see, it's -1, 1/2, comma 0, again on here, and 0, 3, again on here. If I make my line, as you can see, they will cross just the same way. Now, there's no point where they intersect because both of them cross the same points. So if I solve it algebraically, I'll place my first and my second equation, and I'll place many solutions. There is no just one solution. There are many solutions. So now that I place that there are many solutions, and I solve it using intercepts, I'm going to show you how to solve it using the slope-intercept form. So on here, again, I have just the same linear system. The same linear system I do it with the intercepts. I'm going to solve it, but using the slope-intercept form. I defined which one is my first and my second equation again, because I need to use my slope-intercept form. And which is my slope-intercept form? Okay, my slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. As you can see, in some of them I have it, my y completely alone, but in others I don't have it. So on here I have y equals 2x plus 3. I have my y completely alone, and I have it in the order I needed on here. This way I can define which one is my y-intercept and which one is my slope. And my slope is the number next to the x, that is the m. On this case is 2. Don't forget that your slope always needs to be a fraction. So if it's a whole number, your denominator will be 1. This way you have your slope is equal to over 1. Now which one is your y-intercept? Your y-intercept is 3 because it's a number you have alone on here. So y equals 3. Now I need to see it for my second equation. On your second equation, as you can see, there is no y completely alone. So I need to move these 2, that is multiplying my y, dividing on both sides. I divide everything by 2. 4 over 2, x plus 6 over 2. As you can see it on here, I can simplify. 4 over 2 is just the same as 2, and 6 over 3 over 2 is just the same as 3. Okay, now that I defined this, I have my slope-intercept form. And I'm going to define which one is my slope and which one is my y-intercept. My slope is the number next to the x, that in this case is 2. And my y-intercept is the 3. That is the number I have alone on here. So now that I defined this, I'm going to make my graph for this. And I need to solve it graphically. I start placing which one is my values for the first equation and which one are my values for the second equation. Now that I define this, I make my graph and I start placing. Okay, my first equation I have 0,3 and I place it on here, and I move in my slope 2 up and 1 to the side. 1, 2 up and 1 to the side. This means this will be my change in the slope, 1,5. I connect my points and I need to see it on my second equations. Where will be my points? I start placing again my y-intercept, that is 0,3, and then I move in my slope 2 in y and 1 in x. So I have 1,5. I connect my points, and as you can see, they cross just the same place. So this means they have many solutions. So when I solve it algebraically, I define which one is my first and my second equation, and I place their many solutions. As you can see, we solve it in two different ways. We solve it using our intercepts, finding the value with our intercepts, and we solve it using the slope-intercept form. So you can do it the way you prefer the most, and if you have any comments, any doubts, you can leave it down below. So that's everything for today, and thanks for watching, guys.